Hallo miteinander, I'm Shady6 and this is Blackthorne. Is stage 15 gonna be harder than the previous level? You betcha! But not by a whole lot, I have to admit. What I think the game is doing, it's still trying to soften us up, and then when we least expect it, it's gonna hit us really hard. Very sneaky indeed. You know what else is sneaky? Putting an item right up here. Yeah. First time you play this level, you're not gonna know of this firebomb. What you're gonna do is you're gonna go through this room, like regular, and then when you enter the next room, you're gonna see it. Which is not pleasant, but not so bad overall. Good thing Blackthorne sees his world in third person, isn't it? Stage 15 is different in a way that it is a very slow-paced level. There's not really a whole lot of enemies to kill, not really difficult jumps to make, but what we do have is some hidden items that you need to collect, and if you don't find them, you can't finish the level, so you have to be thorough. So it really is different than the stages before it. But being so slow-paced actually gives me a good opportunity to talk about Blackthorne as a franchise, I think. First and foremost, Blackthorne isn't really a franchise. Nope. Basically, we only have this one game, which is very unusual for Blizzard. They basically just milked this game with several ports. The SNES version that we're playing is also just a port of the original Windows version. We also have a Mac version, a version for the 32X, and also much later a GBA port. So you really have to wonder, why did they just port this game and never made a Blackthorne 2? Well, I can kind of understand that decision. First of all, I really have the impression that they were sometimes grasping for ideas. They were never really running out of ideas, mind you, but at some points I really think that the puzzles are just variations of previous ones. Don't get me wrong, I really enjoy playing Blackthorne, but these flaws have to be addressed. You also have to admit that they were not really using many enemies or giving you many items. Like the firebomb was the last item that was introduced, and that was already in the swamps. So yeah. As I've said, they're not running out of ideas. For example, a little later we got these hidden rooms, like this one that we just found, where you just kind of have to sink into the floor in the room above. That's pretty clever. But yeah, when I look at Blackthorne, I really don't see any way to expand on it. And maybe the developers also thought that. You've got a few items, you've got a few enemies, you've got basically cinematic platformer controls, but the levels that they had, I guess that was pretty much all they could get out of it. They seem to be able to get more out of other games they made, like Lost Vikings. That one got a sequel, but not Blackthorne. Why is it so sure that Blackthorne will never have a sequel? Well, because Blizzard already joked once about their forums. Well, in their forums about Blackthorne 2 being released, but it was an April Fool's joke. So, with that you can be sure that we'll never have a Blackthorne 2. It's a little bit sad, but that's how it is. Back to the game itself, as to what's happening. At this point we got 2 iron keys. We're gonna need both of them. One of them we're gonna use very soon, and the other we're gonna keep for a little while longer. At this point is where you will really have to check for the items that you've picked up, because at this point you need to have a levitator, a bridge key, and 2 iron keys. Now you really gotta remember all the items that you have, because if you go past a certain point in the level, you will not be able to return. More on that later. You know what's also weird about stage 15? They give you a lot of hover bombs in that secret room. There's also another secret room later that also has hover bombs. I really don't know why they give you that item. It's really not an item that you can attack enemies with, and there's no other purpose for them. So yeah, this game really could have used some items you could just use at your own leisure. Some that would be really effective for combat, but it didn't have those. Too bad. Now here's where we use the levitator. We also just picked up some wasps. If you also have these wasps next to the other items that I mentioned, you're all set. That's all the stuff you need for this level. But really, if you don't have them, turn back now, because if you don't, you'll be sorry. You'll fall to your knees and cry, "Why didn't I listen to Gesh?" And you will be very sad. Here's the second secret room of the level with another health potion. We're gonna use that one right away. The thing that tipped you off about this secret room was the spider mine in the next one. You see it goes into the wall a little. Oh, now this spot. This is a very hairy spot. I'm pretty much at a stalemate here. I can't really find an opening to fight that Grag, so I have to chimmy forward a little bit. Yeah, see? Not really doing much. But you know, those who wait win. And that is what I'm doing here. Waiting for my opportunity. And now I'm in a much better spot. You know that elevator up there? That's actually the elevator that will get you out of the level. However, getting to it is gonna take a little while longer. The switch is actually not the one that you see in this room. That's for a different elevator. The switch that we really need is somewhere completely different. I really wonder how that elevator got up there. It's completely useless over there. I bet it was some punk who played with the controls. Silly kids. As I've said, the switch over there is for another elevator. We're gonna have to press it in a minute. But a very important spot is right over here. Once you let yourself down this ledge, it's the point of no return. You better have all the items, or else you're gonna have to restart the level. And all will be for naught. Now this spider mine over here. I tried to get past it. That was very stupid. What I should have done was I should have just let myself down the ledge on the left. That is what you have to do. You really don't have to get past that spider mine. It's a waste of time and health. So don't do, for a change, don't do what I did. Now, while driving down that elevator, we saw a Grag on the right side. Don't go up right in his face, that's no good. Luckily I remembered. You know, I don't think I ever mentioned it about those Grags. They were actually once humans, believe it or not, like Blackthorne and the other Androthi. However, being exposed to the dark stone warped their appearance pretty badly. Man, I guess it's gonna be really hard to find supporters if you have to tell them that they're gonna look like this. But somehow Sarlac managed that. Or maybe these are the Grags of the second generation already. It doesn't really matter. You know what I think? I think these evil artifacts can be really persuasive. Yeah. First you've got really decent people, and then before you know it, they're all like, "My precious." And that's how it all starts. You know, with a name like the Darkstone, do you really expect something good out of that cursed thing? I wouldn't. Well, this was pretty much all of the level at this point. All you do at this spot is you pretty much use all the key items that you've gotten throughout it. And when you do, you can call the elevator and leave the level for good. You know, stage 15 really wasn't very exciting in a way, but stage 16 is gonna be more interesting. I'm not gonna spoil too much of it. All I can tell you is that look forward to it. So, as always, I'm Gesh86, this was Blackthorne, and next time, the final level of the game. Bis bald!